It is episode 20 of season 4 of The Paper Thing. Today's episode, Fatt, Morde's Palace of Chuckles. It's a 3-paper show, but we've got a magazine review. Today's magazine review is the Lady magazine. I do want to do the non-league paper at some point, but I haven't found a copy of it yet. I will, though. In the meantime, we've got the Lady magazine up for review, and on Monday it's a double magazine review with 2000 AD and the London Review of Books up for a dual review. Let me just put the tweet out. There is always the tweet. There is always a tweet. That's what they say. Hold on. La la la. Quote tweet. The show is live. Tune in. www.twitch.tv/Broken Ball Boy. Will it break the link? It loves to break the link. No, I'm not going to let it. Tune in. Boom. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Hold fire. Weep. Copy link. Put it in the Discord. Right, hello Slinkermeyer, hello Bad Motivator, hello Mr. Gump. Good to see all of you, yes. So today's magazine review is the Lady magazine, and then we've got three newspapers to cover. The Mail, the Times, and the Sun, sort of the classic three. Why have I got my hood up? Because I want to, because I can pretend I'm a Jedi. Why is Mick a hoodlum today? I'm a hoodlum every day. Don't let the hoodie lack of hoodie generally distract you. Well, I'll take my hood down now. I just felt comfortable in it. Anyway, here we go. It's the Lady magazine. A magazine. It's pretty much a magazine for posh people, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
for rich people.
It's a magazine for posh and rich people. Something that I'm neither of. So let's see if there's anything in here that appeals to me. Warning to anyone who hasn't realised that Prince Philip is dead. I fear that this magazine contains much content on the death of Prince Philip. Good afternoon, Guybrush. Yes, yo, good afternoon, friends and lovers. Hug a hoodie is I'm pro hugging a hoodie. Hug me, that's good. Wait, Prince Philip is dead? Yeah, I know. Oh, here comes the hug's coming in. Oh, thank you. Right, let's get into the Lady magazine. When did that happen? Prince Philip's dead. When did that happen? This bit must never end. The woke agenda is making GQ transition to the Lady. Good. Right, inside, first thing you get is an ad for the Cotswold collection. 10% off various beige-coloured items. Right, the contents page. We're immediately there. We're not going to read the contents page because we don't want to spoil what's coming. The editor of The Lady, Maxine Frith, writes, Dear readers, I live in landlocked Cambridgeshire now, but was raised by the coast in Kent, and I miss the joys of the British seaside. I surfed in the freezing waters of Wales in winter, walked hysterically happy dogs on a remote beach on the Isle of Mull in Scotland, and loved spending time in the Suffolk seaside town of Southwell. This is like, just put this stuff in a round robin letter to your friends, not in the editor's letter of a magazine. Anyway, today they look at in this issue, we look at revealing letters written by the Duke of Edinburgh to his wife, her mother, and other members of the royal family over the course of his 7 decades of service to this country. 7 decades of service. Our gardening expert, Keir Byrne, interviews a true English eccentric. Well, the British Legion's book of recipes will hopefully inspire some alfresco dining. And why is it so hard to get a good night's sleep? Who knows? You could win a pair of espadrilles, which feels to me like the most sort of Lady magazine style prize. And they're trying to sell you a lawnmower. Yes, this is the Posh Person magazine that... No, Tatler features the eligible debutantes. I'm not sure the Lady does. The link on Twitter's not working. Oh, for fuck's sake, did it break the link again? I bet it fucking did. Yeah, it did. For fuck's sake. Why? Right, hold on. Hold fire. Thank you for letting me know. www.twitch.tv/Broken Bottle Boy. The show is now live. Do. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I know. You'd forgotten this magazine had existed. Yeah, now with fixed link. There we go. Okay, yeah, no, I nearly had. The smaller the face, the bigger the fortune, says Slinkermeyer. Right, and then in Lady Loves, which is a recommendation of products, they recommend various pink items. Rose Garden, celebrate the end of lockdown, the start of summer in true British style. I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you like that sort of thing. That woman's forehead is genuinely upsetting. It is a little bit. Oh, pink things for girls in a magazine for ladies, yeah. Her Indoors is a column written by Mary Killen. You may recognise her as one half of Marion Giles on Gogglebox. And she writes, I never met Prince Philip, so I was surprised how upset it made me when his death was announced. Now I know why. Sorry to tell you that Prince Philip is dead. She writes, he was one of the most perfect husbands. Yeah. Right, moving on. They're trying to sell you a linen dress. This linen dress available in fuchsia, khaki. That doesn't look like khaki to me, but there you go. Cayenne, lagoon, coral floral, or blue white. Just £49. So yeah. This is a contemporary magazine. Yes, this is a magazine that I bought this morning. In the letters page, Mary Anderson of Wimborne, Dorset says, I have been a prolific letter writer since the Second World War. I had American and Canadian pen friends who sent soap, chewing gum, and tea bags. In the 1950s, I discovered fan mail through the actress Jean Kent's magazine. In the 1960s and 1970s, I was a member of a group which shared letters and posted them to the next person. And in the 1990s, I bought my first computer and reveled in sending and receiving emails. In the 21st century, I started online learning. The son of one of the US students wrote to say his late mother was thrilled to have had a pen friend from the UK. So yes, I do miss handwritten letters, but I also like speedy emails that ping their way through the ether. Mary sounds great. Mary sounds great though. That's good. I like the amount of that she's moved with the times. This certainly wouldn't be the kind of letter you'd get in the Telegraph letters page, which would be about how the decline in handwritten letters is proof that the country has fallen into Marxist ruin. Yeah, Mary sounds like a sweetheart there. Use of weapons also likes pingers. Quite different. Someone's written in with a picture of their pet, Priesty the cockatiel. Well, prolific letter writer since World War II means Soviet spy, possibly. Maria Walsh says, my granddad always kept birds, and when I was 10 years old, he kept cockatiels. On the 4th of October 1999, a little bird hatched who we named Priesty. When he was young, he had a prominent white collar, hence his name. Shortly after his birth, it became clear to Priesty that I was his mummy. My granddad could see we were equally attached to one another, and after convincing my parents that I would take good care of him, granddad gave him to me. Today, Priesty lives with me and my fiancée. He loves to be cuddled, especially by me, who he still regards as his mum. He doesn't think you're his mum. Stop with this shit. Priesty has learned a handful of words and all sorts of whistles. What words may they be? Each year, we celebrate his birthday and make him a cake. He will be 22 in October. I am pro-Priesty, but I'm not pro his owner believing she is his mother. And this month's star pet in the Lady magazine is Betty, who is a beautiful long hair. Apparently that's the breed name. Nearly 4. Her owner is called Rebecca. She likes chicken and chasing balls and dislikes her brother Johnny. That is a cool looking cat. Good afternoon, Red Tick Seed. We are at the moment speeding our way through the Lady magazine. The magazine for ladies. They interview Emily Watson. I like interesting people in extreme situations, she says. She tells Maureen Patton why she enjoys such grueling work and how her family keep her grounded. I don't know why, talk about a boring photo shoot. Right, so the concept for the photo shoot is green, right? So we're just going to put Emily in front of some green. Just a green background, okay? That's it. Anything else? Anything that might liven it up a bit? No, just green. Just a green background. That's fine. Anyway, it's a couple of pages. It's fine. On the debate page, Maxine Frith, the editor of the Lady magazine, says that ID cards are a good idea, whereas Liz Hodgkinson says they're not. There's an advert for an old person's residence you can go to. It's apparently a tranquil oasis. Non-ladies look away now. Long hair, cousin of clean shirt. Chronotherm, speeding your way through the Lady was one of those sun sex tips. It may as well have been. On a page called The Curmudgeon, someone writes, the tougher sort of bloke or bloke S, what are we? It's not the 90s. Grits their teeth and laughs in the face of injury of illness, but I'm not one of them. The Curmudgeon is represented by this dog, but I believe this dog would write a better column. Another opportunity to buy a really dull-looking dress. On the Modern Manners page, Thomas Blakey answers some queries. Dear Thomas, I thought a friend and I were getting along perfectly well, but it seems I was wrong. Suddenly there are a whole lot of complaints. I'm needy and demanding. I make her feel guilty. She's frightened of me. I'm very shocked and upset. She also says I don't make enough effort to get in touch with her. When I point out that she's being contradictory, I can't be both demanding and never in touch, she says I'm just justifying myself and gaslighting her. I'm not entirely sure what that means, writes Jean Overton of Weymouth, a woman with no access to Google. Dear Jean, what a nasty situation. It sounds as if your friend is on trend and has been working on her mental health. Perhaps she's somehow been encouraged to think that there are toxic people in her life who must be dealt with. But confrontation doesn't usually work out as expected. For some reason, those who decide to abandon traditional British reticence and restraint never calculate that the friends they attack might have the effrontery to answer back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, his answer to the other person, someone else asks, Dear Thomas, why are people always sending hugs on Facebook? Surely a hug is a physical thing. It annoys me every time I see it. Dear Jane, I heard of somebody who, if amused, didn't laugh but said lol, which, if you don't know what that means laugh out loud in online language. I wonder if eventually the same thing will happen to speaking. People will just flash emojis at each other even when physically together. Oh, God. It's like Black Mirror if it was written by a Lady magazine correspondent. What if phones but too much? The kids be doing a thing and I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, fuck the advice. Agreed. Okay. My dating disasters and how to avoid them. Finding love online is fraught with difficulties unless you know how to spot the danger signs, writes Liz Hodgkinson. Right, it's basically she's seen Catfish and has decided to write that out as a 2-page article. Right, now we're on to the Duke of Edinburgh's letters. Letters from Philip. There he is. The Duke of Edinburgh is a prolific writer, and his gruff public image belied a more tender side as revealed in his correspondence with his wife and family during the course of his life. Oh, God. Prince Philip's dead, by the way. He wrote to Princess Elizabeth in 1946, to have been spared in the war and team victory, to have been given the chance to rest and to readjust myself. Don't do that in public, mate. To have been fallen in love completely and unreservedly makes all one's personal and even the world's troubles seem small and petty. Remember, he met her when she was 13. Written to the Queen Mother in 1947. I am not sure, but I know that I thank God for them, and so very humbly I thank God for Lilibet and us. Right. Okay. Written to Diana, Princess of Wales in 1992. I can only repeat what I have said before. Watch your brake cables. No, he says, I can only repeat what I've said before. If invited, I will do my utmost to help you and Charles to the best of my ability. But I'm quite ready to concede that I have no talent as a marriage counsellor. No shit. There's an advert for a personal weight loss consultancy. Yuck. The bitch shall never die. Use of weapons. That is... funny. Letter to Diana in 94. Watch out for a white Fiat Uno. There's an advertorial for the best of British various things. A bed, some salt shakers, some duvets, some pans, all that kind of thing. Prince Albert designed Osborne House on the Isle of Wight as a retreat for his beloved wife Victoria, and it became her favourite place for the rest of her life. There you go. So it's the country house that we get to see pictures of. Fine. There's an advert for the Royal British Legion. There's an advert for retirement villages. There's the Gardener's Diary. There's an advert for brain training. There's a column called Him on the Farm by Robin Page. I am proud to have known Prince Philip. His insights about farming and wildlife will be greatly missed. Fucking hell. How much Prince Philip is there in this? Kitchen Heroes, the Royal British Legion celebrating its centenary with recipes from around the world by service personnel and celebrity supporters. Let's see what recipes we get here. Surrey Scrum custard tarts with raspberries. They look fine. African chicken curry with plantain. I'm feeling dubious here. Surrey Scrums by Emma Kennedy, comedian, writer, and Celebrity MasterChef 2012 winner. Patty Boulay, actress, singer, and Celebrity MasterChef contestant, offers the African chicken curry with plantain. Senior aircraftman James Kerr contributes asparagus and Cheshire cheese soup with apple and walnut loaf. There you go. In the column called Vintage versus Trendy, who's written this? I don't know who this person is. This is so annoying. There's just not a lot of bylines here. There's a picture of this woman. No idea who she is. Where's the byline? I don't know. Some woman writes about getting rid of gadgets and keeping ones that she needs. And she says a rotary egg beater was once the latest in KitchenAids. Yes, that Emma Kennedy. Yeah. In Ivo Uncorked, which is Ivo Dorney's wine column, he says, I know we're all supposed to love a glass of fizz or three, but for bubbleophobes like me, champagne is headache in a glass. Yeah, all right, mate, whatever, you know. It's... there's a competition to win a luxury break in Cornwall at the Ulverton Hotel. They write about various different British seasides: Northumberland, the Lizard in Cornwall, North Devon, Suffolk, Pembrokeshire. Why would you go to the Suffolk coast when you can go to the much superior Norfolk coast? That's the question. Oh, right. Africa's all one place to read as a lady. Bubbleophobes also hate baths. Fun fact, yeah. Ashen Care, there's an advert for more old person care. The Isle of Wight, North Yorkshire, East Sussex and Kent, Moray and Aberdeenshire, Studland and Dorset all get looked at. Then there's more ugly clothes, ones to wear when you're doing your country pursuits, ones to wear when you're doing your garden party, and ones to wear when you're on your coastal escapes. All the use cases covered there. In the beauty Q&A, Armand Beasley, real name, offers answers to makeup requests, but looks like a villain from Zorro, like he's just robbed a little bank. Country Pursuits, hunting people for sport, the most dangerous game. Shankly 07, Norfolk-born lad, I agree. Yes, I am also Norfolk-born and Norwich-born and Norwich living now. Stephanie Unthank writes in the wellness column, act like a child. It's a great time to release your little me, says Stephanie Unthank. Do not ever release your little me in public. That is a criminal offence.
Also known as the John Barrowman move.
John Barrowism. In the health feature, Genevieve Roberts writes, the ultimate guide to a good night's sleep. Up to a third of people suffer from insomnia. It affects more women than men. But there are many ways you can help yourself. Also, don't help yourself in public. This is all good advice. And funny enough, they run an ad for this sleep gadget straight after their sleep feature. Could it be that the sleep gadget ad was booked before they wrote the sleep feature? Hard to say, but it absolutely was. In the books, they review The Churchill Girls, the story of Winston Churchill's daughters. Here's a clue, didn't go very well for them. They have an interview with Joanne Harris, the author. She says she's happiest hanging out with her husband and daughter. She used to have 6 cats, but doesn't anymore. And her daughter is her greatest influence. Just a nice interview, that. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Kid in the Room is excellent. Diary of a Rural GP is reviewed. The Critchlow Boys, Scenes from England's Last Literary Salon is reviewed. And Murder on the Hoof, the story of Prince Albert's Troop, is reviewed. They also review Ruthless Women, which apparently is a book that's a bit Jackie Collins, Jilly Cooper, and Shirley Conran-like. So that sounds like that'd be good. Guybrush Tweetgood, I'm not going to have the editorial integrity of the lady questions, Mick. No, far be it from me to do so. In the Books of Life column, Maggie Alderson, who she says, I love British authors and having tried and failed to read the latest Pulitzer Prize winner from America, I can see why. There's an advert for this alpaca waistcoat, which is grotesque, but yours for, save £50, you can get it for just £79. I mean, they'd have to pay me many more pounds than that to wear that. In the reviews section, Antoine Watteau defined an era during his short career, but his work never gained official acceptance in his own time, writes Roderick Conway Morris. Quite boring looking paintings, to be honest. In the watch section, of course, they recommend Call the Midwife. In films, Jason Solomon reviews Sound of Metal and Nomadland. On the radio column, written by Louis Barth, who I know, he writes about Claudia Winkleman, Jazz FM, Greenborn, which is a new sort of alternative to The Archers, Dolly Parton's America, and a new box set called The Polydor Years, 1980 to 1984, which is, covers a load of Dolly Parton's releases from that era. Loads of ads for stuff. In the personal columns, where's this one? Where's the one you read me out? Male vegan. Was it the male vegan one?
Yeah. Yes.
Bottom one there.
I can only reply.
Male vegan seeks female of up to 45 for friendship and relationship. My interests are hiking, nature, books, gardening, and nutrition. No photo initially. I can only reply by letter or telephone. Bubbly blonde lady would like to meet intelligent gent, 50s, with zest for life, interests, interiors, travel, walking, dining, Northamptonshire, Cambridgeshire, Leicestershire, Bedfordshire.
And those are interests or where she wants to meet?
Doesn't say. Surrey, artist, farmer, 65, caring, good sense of humour, loves animals, country, coast, music, dining, antiques, seeks happiness with charming lady. He's actually put his full phone number in there, which seems insane.
Was it? So we can be a quick call?
Artist, London lady, 67, looking for a special gentleman to share my life with. My interests are art, antiques, music, cooking, countryside, and walking. And a well-travelled and charismatic 37-year-old man, financially very solvent, seeks similar female soulmate. Angels only. Imagine being 37 and you're writing in the personal ads of the Lady magazine. This is suspicious to me. Who the fuck is interested in Bedfordshire? I grew up there. It's shit, says Salika. Okay, see in a bit. There's a good long set of pages where people apply for various nannies and carers and stuff that they want. Yeah, agreed, Lady Baskers. Agreed. Oh, Oh, sorry, Lady Baskers. I meant to approve that message, but I didn't. Sorry about that. Didn't. I've not. How do I take them off the block list now? I don't want farmer and animals on the block list. Oh, Jesus. Oh, well, never mind. Angels only. Red flag indeed. Female. Any females? So, Mara, I'd love it if he was looking for biblical angels, i.e. just huge balls of eyes and wings. Yeah, much better. Anyway, pages of this. Really just disturbing. They're looking for domestic helps. Lovely opportunity for gardener, handy person, and cook housekeeper to look after a beautiful house. Like, trying to get a couple to come and work for you. Pages of this shit. Pages and pages. In the horoscopes, no, don't give a shit about those. Loads of puzzles. Looking for slaves, basically. Normal column, yeah. Massive, tons of pages of whatever. And on the back page, an interview with David Suchet where he says, where they ask him, who would you most like to come to dinner? Apart from my family, Jesus and St. Paul. Chronotherm couple working for you as a sex thing. Yeah. Alright, so, absolutely bizarre front cover. Deranged magazine. Feels like it comes from a different century. Minus 10. I'd say. No, minus negative nice. The negative nice. Minus 69. Right. We'll on to the papers in a second. On Monday, we've got a double magazine review with 2000 AD and London Review of Books up for assessment. Guy was treated good, kind of wild, it's still going. Minus 1866, the year it was written, says use of weapons. Financial solvency out of angels. 3 fishes for the retired Tory energy, says Yuan. And minus 1,000 from Ged Station. 4 out of 10, honest with good pet stuff, says Chronotherm. Minus angels, says Red Tick Seed. Minus 69 from Slinkenmeyer. Cool. Okay, right, so now we move on to... Nope. We're going to move on to... We're going to go Sun Times Daily Mail. LRB, a sensible mag, feel uncomfortable. Well, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Hey, Auntie Dange, how you doing? You just missed the review of the Lady magazine. You didn't miss much, but do remember that the show goes on YouTube after its broadcast, so you can catch up there if you want. LRB can be pretty good when it doesn't get too up itself. It can. I actually read it pretty often. LRB and 2000 AD are sort of the kind of bookends of my reading. Right, so here's the Sun. Warning today, there's going to be a lot of deranged royal stuff. The Daily Mail is actually more deranged than the Sun on this, as you'd expect. And, of course, features Sarah Vine there. Auntie Dange, all good here. Just been scrubbing my bathroom floor in between writing a webinar. Okay, well, webinars are a cursed item, but you got to do what you got to do. Okay, the Sun. Right, top of the shop. Jabs move on India strain. They're suggesting that some people's second jabs might be done at an earlier time because of the threat of the new variant. Mel B, I couldn't bear to be touched after abuse nightmare, she says. They rather deceptively use a picture of her from in makeup from a domestic abuse video, which I think is quite a disgusting thing on the Sun thing. Yep, sad to see that James Hewitt passed his pain on to his son, says Rick Tixie. Yep. Harry's bit of swipe at Charles. Dad passed his pain on to me. I will not do that to my kids. I've started listening to the podcast episode that this story is based on. He doesn't sound bitter at all, but of course the Sun will always strip context away. On the inside page, Cam, I didn't do it to make millions. David Cameron squirming like the human ham that he was in front of the parliamentary committee yesterday. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3. Model Brianna Holly turns up the heat in this blush bikini, but not as much as British actor boyfriend Nicholas Hoult does in his new movie. He plays an assassin who blah blah blah. Harry hits out over Charles' genetic pain. Prince hated role as royal, like Zoo or Truman Show, treated as dad was treated. I didn't want the job. Fair dues. Fair dues. Agree with him. Yu-Gi-Oh! I know plenty of writers who use context. They're all cowards. Slinker Maya, a member of the royal family acknowledging generational trauma, off with his head. I know. Is it really news that Charles wasn't a very good dad? No, I think he would probably admit it himself if he was forced to. And of course, they run pictures of Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge out doing a royal visit, and they say, the others seem to enjoy it, Harry. Oh, fuck off. On pages 6 and 7, no need to panic. Indian COVID doubled here. Plan to speed up to 2 jabs. Harry Cole writes as an exclusive, strip club jab passes plan. Vaccine passports will be needed to enter strip clubs but when they reopen. I suspect that when Harry visits strip clubs, he asks them to answer to the name Carrie, but it's just a guess. On page 9, Beyonce's been seen wearing a big black coat, which they say makes her look like Neo from The Matrix. It doesn't. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yes, Harry Cole, Britain's premier cuckold enthusiast. On page 9, some transphobia. A passenger complained about an announcement saying, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls." And Twitter and LNER replied on Twitter saying, "Yeah, we're sorry about that. They shouldn't have used that language." And then he got the guy. The guy. I'm not saying this. How did this person identify? They got attacked by people like James Dreyfus and others who, and the thing that's really not pleasant about this, right, is that Lawrence, who actually is a guard for Southwestern Railway and an LGBT plus rep for the RMT union, has, just tweeted a complaint, as they had the right to do so, and has got attacked for it by all these people and put in the paper. And even the Sun here has it, says that he's going to comment on the leader page we'll get to here. The Daily Mail's done this as well. This is ridiculous. This isn't a national news story. And of course, they say train wine, moan at rail conductors, non-inclusive greeting. Like, stop it. Chronotherm, Harry got an email from his favourite droid to turn it into a column. That's good going. Yeah, public shaming on Turf Island, pretty much. Right, Sun, in the Sun Says thing, they say, this is their leader column. How woke must you be to find good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, offensive? And how cravenly feeble must a company be to apologise? 2 non-binary pals were alarmed and uncomfortable over the lack of inclusion in a train conductor's harmless greeting. How do these people cope with the normal stresses of daily life? Shame, though, on the London North East Railway's grovelling. Our train managers should not use language like this. There lies the real problem. While cowed firms surrender to or adopt this culture war extremism, the confective, angry snowflakery will keep coming. This is confective. Jordan D.H., wait, who was at the RMT? The person who had complained about the non-inclusive greeting is an RMT LGBT plus rep. On page 11, exclusive Corrie shock. Coronation's Rover's return is put up for sale by jilted landlord Johnny Connor in an explosive new storyline. It's not real. I'll never understand the pure vitriol that comes from people who are not affected by this in the slightest. I know, it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Moving on, pages 14 and 15, Mel B says, I thought I'd never find love again. For a year, I couldn't bear to be hugged or touched. Singer on New Man and her shock video about domestic violence. I think it's good she's talking about domestic violence. I wish she wasn't doing it in the Sun. On page 17, Gaza rocket blitz escalates. Ceasefire, no chance. Israel rejects Hamas peace plea is the way they cover that. Ugh. On page 19, Simon Boyle is writing about Bella Porch's backside, and Rihanna is set to bring out a new record after 5 years with no new music. Yuan, do right-wing journalists enjoy being this bitter and shriveled, or is just drinking a massive coke to get over how poisonous they are? They think they're right, a lot of them. Yeah, Jordan DH, it's Lawrence. Yeah, it's Lawrence who they're attacking. This is covered in the Daily Mail as well. On page 21, blind man's charity hell. Guide dog taken as owner has op. Give him buck. A blind veteran had his guide dog taken away while he was in hospital by a charity which offered to look after it. Graham Henley handed Rory, his faithful companion for 12 years, to guide dogs while he was having cancer surgery. But when the lonely widower was ready to come home, the charity refused to hand him back. It said Rory, a Labrador Retriever cross, was badly overweight and his claws were too long. But it has left Graham, 69, without his companion and struggling even to get out of his home. Right, well, this seems more complicated. So, Rory the dog is retired. Well, I mean... Rory had ballooned to 39 kilograms by the time Graham went into hospital. Okay, well, it sounds like this guy should have got more help with looking after his dog. But this is just complicated. It's more complicated than John DH. Lawrence is sound. They've been on Com Radio. Yeah, they sound. And that's what I'm saying. It's horrible that they're being targeted and attacked in national newspapers for making perfectly... these people bang on about free speech and the right to free speech, but Lawrence's free speech is not being protected by these papers, is it? Obviously not, because it's an opportunity to make a turfy and aggressively turfy and unpleasant point. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, the Rihanna album. I hope there is a new Rihanna album. It'd be good. Rain, pain till July. Raining is not pain. Shut the fuck up. Cops raced her home over mum's dummy in a bag. A mum returned home from school run to find 10 cops examining a Halloween prop they thought was a dead body. Okay, well, yeah, what if it had been? Yeah, fucking hell, imagine it was... imagine rain. Imagine rain happening. Funderland. Wearside residents are UK's biggest laughers. According to a study, residents of Sunderland, Wrexham, Bath, Dundee and Wolverhampton laughed the most, whereas people in Derry, Warrington, York, Cambridge and Carlisle don't. Of course, the Sun insists on calling Derry London Derry. I think they should take the BBC line that the BBC used to take, which is call it Derry London Derry, if you have to do that. On page 31, Tress to Impress, a businesswoman has been growing her hair since she was 5 and it's now 6.5 feet long. Yeah, alright. We've got a feature on dogs that look like their owner, like their famous owners. They don't really. Or dogs that look like famous people. Doggle-gangers. That's because they've suddenly needed to fill 2 pages. In the TV recommendation, Sky Atlantic, 9 p.m, Domina, follow naive young girl, Livia Drusilla, and her rise to empress in this bloodthirsty 8-parter set in ancient Rome. After killing of Julius Caesar, that sounds alright. On later with Jules Holland, Noel Gallagher is on. No, thank you. Tom Allen's Quizness is on Channel 4 at 8 p.m. And Time is a Killer, all 4 available now. Dark French mystery series following 3 generations from the same family whose lives have been shattered by a tragic accident. In Fab Daily, Dua, these stockings look sexy. They've got 2 people to debate whether Dua Lipa was wrong to wear stockings. Fuck off. Georgette Cully says, yes, they're sexy. Clemmy Fieldsen says, no, they're not. Could it be a matter of opinion? A woman says, I've got 3,000 little black dresses. She spent 75,000 on her little black dresses. She shunned colour after seeing goths in London in the 80s. Right, okay. The £50 letter today comes from Peter Nash. The inquiry into the government's handling of the COVID pandemic is a waste of time and money. We all know how it's going to turn out. Instead of investigating the government's response as the virus arrived here, the committee will look at what it was like months down the road. When the findings are published, the result will be declared by one group as a whitewash, another will say, I told you so, and a third will be shouted down for saying the government got it right all along. Oh, fuck off. In Something for the Weekend, they interview St. Vincent. I like St. Vincent. I wish she wasn't in the sun. Her record gets 4.5 stars. I think it's a 5-star record. Use of weapons. Dua Lipa can wear what she wants as Empress of Greater Albania. They review various things. I don't care about any of the things they review. They're trying to sell you ugly elasticated skirts. Just yours for $11.25 each. Chronotherm, most Brits shun colour after joining the National Front. In the sport, busted. Fan blockade plot foiled. Cop hit back to stun United. More anti-Glazer protests. Right, that's the Sun. Triple negative nice. Triple negative nice from me. So minus 69, 69, 69. Not good. Fuck it off. Use of weapons. Is an attractive woman in her 20s wearing clothing sexy? The brain trust of the Sun finds out. Yeah, I know. And also, who gives a fuck? Right, give me your scores for the Sun. I'm going to move over to the Times and do the roll call. By the way, if you didn't see it last night, SK's absolutely cursed stream on the Paul Mason's book was amazing. The bits of it I saw live, and then I watched the rest on VOD. Red tick. Slinkermeyer gives it minus quadruple negative nice for the Sun. Use of weapons. The pain of being Prince Charles's son out of 10. Red tick seed minus all the 9s. Teo writes minus 10,000 for a transphobic wankery. The clip with his mum is very funny. Yeah, with Sinan's mum is very funny. Yes, Spice World. Okay, right. So, I am the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy or on TikTok at Useless Conquest. In the mod squad is the excellent Guybrush, Tweet Good. In the chat, Auntie Dange, Bad Motivator, Carbot 14, XYZ, Commander Root, Yu-Gi-Oh, Feet, Ged Station, I Can't Control It, Industrial Pet, Jane Pickering, the excellent Jane Pickering, good to see you, Jane, Jordan DH, Kitty Cat 513, Chronotherm, Letty Baskers, the excellent Letty Baskers, I should say, Mercutio UK, Monkey Man, Bob, Mr. Gump, Pantomime Horse, Red Tick Seed, Ring Shifter, Rosie Rose, Salinkatmeyer, Shankly07, Studying Fangirl, Torms, Teo Wrights, A Royal Flush, Use of Weapons, V&K, Virgo Pros, Yuan, and Zautar. Also worth noting that there is a new episode of Podcasting is Praxis out today, which I have started listening to and am enjoying, so do check that out if you are so inclined, and I can't see why you wouldn't be. Thank you, Red Tick Seed. I'm glad you like the new newsletter. The latest newsletter is on Matt Ford turning up on BBC Politics Live yesterday. If you've not read it, just head there, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. It's free to read, and you can sign up for free. If you enjoy it, consider upgrading to the paid version where you get some extra stuff, couple of extra newsletters a week. But if you don't, you can still just be signed up for free. Use a weapon. I refuse to listen to podcasting practice after finding out one of them is a marginally different type of anarchist to me. Fat Morde, yes, will notice the name of today's episode is Fat Morde's Palace of Chuckles. Right, so on to the Times. Top of the Times. The Undoing, why the Golden Globes are finally falling apart because they're fucking awful and run by a corrupt organisation. We have £1 million but still can't find a house. Tiny violins. Harry, I left UK to break cycle of pain. Yeah, fair enough. Main story, race to stop Indian strain. Cases more than double inside a week. 10 million could have second jobs brought forward and calls for delay of lockdown easing. Inside the paper, witty effect drives rise in pupils applying for medicine. I don't believe stories like that, to be honest. You could become the handyman of a castle that St. Michael's Mount, which has a stone causeway that is cut off twice a day by the tide. That is a cool picture. Use your weapons. Oh no, I can't find a place to live on the 1 million pittance I have. Go fuck yourself. Agreed. Moving on, Brexit deal blocks life-saving cancer drug in Northern Ireland. Yeah, well, that's... who caused that? Fuck me. Developers who fail to build new homes face use it or lose it tax. I mean, that doesn't seem like a bad idea, but I'm sure there'll be a problem with it. Channel 4 may be sold in rush to streaming platforms, claims Oliver Dowden, who... You wait, they'll get rid of Channel 4, then they'll say, well, look, there's very little demand for public sector broadcasting, so they'll then privatise the BBC. And I know what you say, a lot of you say, and I do agree with you, BBC News is fucking awful. But privatisation of the BBC, if we privatise it now, we'll never get it back. And there is a lot of stuff that the BBC does that is good, in terms of arts coverage and local news coverage and all kinds of stuff. Slinker Meyer, as someone who's about to be evicted, I'd like to express it extra loud, go fuck yourself. I'm really sorry to hear that, Slinker. That fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. If there's anything we can do to help, let me know. Summer peak could overwhelm NHS without local lockdowns. We are going to have more lockdowns. It is going to happen. They pretended it wouldn't, but there will be more. BA is planning to... have a thing where passengers can skip queues when checking in and boarding their flights under plans revolutionise flying. British Airways is trialling a virtual queue whereby travellers can book a check-in time slot via an app before they arrive at the airport. Once through security, they would then get an alert when it is their time to board. Yeah, genuine, Slinker. If there's something I can do, let me know. Just, you know, even if it's just to chuck some money into crowdfunder or flag something up or whatever. Zautar, the UK government will never shut down the BBC World Service as their number one soft power geopolitical tool. It'd be very strange to have no domestic BBC but only an overseas one. I don't know. They've been cutting at the World Service quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if they do more BBC News crap, but yeah, the BBC does good stuff like Nice Animal Docs and the Adam Curtis stuff, as well as how important local radio stations are. I absolutely agree. Use of weapons. Yeah, use of weapons. Voice of America exists. Exactly. Prince Harry has told the Armchair Expert podcast with Dax Shepard and Monica Padman that he wanted out of the royal family in his 20s. Now, if the papers accepted that and didn't twist that out of shape, they would realise that perhaps it's nothing to do, that it's not Meghan Markle's fault that Harry left the royal family. But they won't do that. Toughen laws to make fake news a crime is a claim here. Spreading fake news on behalf of a hostile state like Russia or China could become a crime under government plans to overhaul the Official Secrets Act. Right, is that right? Okay, well, let's have a look at the number of times, for instance, the Daily Telegraph has taken a load of money from, for instance, the Chinese government or the Saudi government to publish supplements which basically were fake news. Don't think that law will do anything to stop them. Lady Baskers, my dad was complaining earlier about how awful BBC News has become, so I got him subscribed to your newsletter. Thank you very much, Lady Baskers. The more the merrier. Publishing Xi Jinping is praxis, though. Yeah. Cameron, Greensill salary beat PM's wages. Yeah, no shit. Labour has no divine right to exist, says David Miliband, in between failing to effectively eat a banana. The Times quietly squirrels away the story about the former Tory chairman helping a firm he advises win a massive PPE contract. Just hides that on page 13 next to Gwyneth Lex's appalling appalling parliamentary sketch. On page 15, another thing that they effectively bury deep in the paper, protest halts immigration raid. This is the great act of solidarity in Glasgow, which ended up with 2 asylum seekers being freed from immigration enforcement. Yeah. Archer defends kind-hearted widow accused of child sex abuse. Jesus Christ. Anti-5G activists waste energy on the wrong target. The home of Glastonbury is home to many people who hold a supernatural belief in positive effects of energy concentrated along ley lines and held in crystals, writes Will Humphreys. What some there do appear do not appear to like is the energy emitted by 5G technology, the generation of blah blah blah. A band of anti-5G activists left an area of Glastonbury without broadband this week after targeting what they thought was a 5G transmitter. It was actually a 5 gigahertz broadband box. Zautar, the true shots of how many people were on the street by the end of the day is stunning. Never to be seen in the mainstream media, to be sure. Yeah, exactly. You don't get that here. You get a tight shot here. And of course, you get a shot here of where they've captured a shot of someone shouting. Absolutely fully fuck the opportunistic libs jumping on it, praising it like they support the action. Agreed, Guybrush. Absolutely agreed on that one. More than 1 in 4 criminal cases collapse as victims give up. Yeah, because the government is rapid. Well, there's a couple of things here. One, our criminal justice system is broken anyway and is designed to punish the worst off while letting the rich essentially get away with things. But also, where there are crimes and where there are things where something should happen, the government has cut the system to the bone, so those cases don't even properly get heard. St. Paul's is on the brink of closure. It just doesn't have enough money, allegedly. Right, well, maybe the church could pump some money into it. Here's a lovely picture of a goose keeping an eye on its newly born goslings. Bill Gates apparently told his golfing friends that he was in a loveless marriage for years. Have you seen Alistair Campbell, of all people, praising it? A complete joke of a man. Oh, fuck. Fuck off. And fuck him getting presenting GMB all week. If you haven't read my newsletter on that, do read that. Use of weapon. The police only do 2 things in the UK. Turn up and give you a crime number an hour late, or crack you in the head if you protest. Yeah. PCSO murder was random attack, a court has been told. James Forsyth, who, as we remember, was best man of the Chancellor and whose wife works for the government, writes, NIMBYism will cost the Tories new voters. Without planning reform, it's unlikely that enough new homes will be built to keep the party's electoral coalition together. Yeah, well, he only calls it NIMBYism when it's in areas where he doesn't live, but where it's where his friends live, well, you know. Oh, God, big follows. Fuck off, big follows. Paul Johnson, director of the Institute of Fiscal Studies, says the hidden costs of fighting climate change will take a rethink on taxes and investment of $50 billion a year to hit our targets on emissions. Well, how about we do that rethinking? Big follows, fig bollows, big follows, big follow boys, long follow boys. Gerard Baker, who is so right-wing he walks with a limp, says Republicans are taking the road to nowhere. Liz Cheney is the latest conservative to fall foul of the Trumpists, but the party isn't so much splitting as imploding. I don't give a shit. Let them implode. Times 2 has got a big thing about how the Golden Globes is broken. Thank you, Guybrush, for deleting those. Hey, love the coins. Get station. Long Corbin brackets follows. Swalloff Gib. What is big follows? It's just a spammer thing. They regularly turn up to say, click this and you can get more followers for your Twitch, and it's just bullshit. Birthdays today. Tim Roth is 60. Francesca Annis is 76. Natalie Appleton is 48. Anne Baker is 107. Ian Blackford is 60. David Byrne is 69. Nice. Kate Blanchett is 52. Sir Che Blythe is 81. Owen Colfer, the novelist, is 56. Sophia Coppola, film director, is 50. Alec Dankworth, jazz bassist and composer, is 61. Sir Michael Fallon, Conservative MP till 2019, Defence Secretary until 2017, is 69. Not nice. Valerie Goodin, Chief Executive of Bupa until 2008, is 71. Baroness Hogg, The Economist and Chairwoman of the Financial Reporting Council till 2014, is 75. Richard Huntingford, Chairman of the Unite Students, Student Accommodation Group, what a horrible name for that company, and Future, the media company, UTV Media, till 2016, Chief Executive of Chrysalis until 2007, and founder of Heart FM, is 65. Fergus Linehan, the Festival Director and Chief Executive of the Edinburgh International Festival, is 52. George Lucas, well, we know who he is 77. Martine McCutcheon, the actress, is 45. Ollie Murs, singer-songwriter, is 37 singer-songwriter. Fraser Nelson, not happy birthday to him, he is 48. Can't believe that Fraser Nelson is only 11 years older than me. Sir Richard Peto, the Emeritus Professor of Medical Statistics and Epidemiology, University of Oxford, 78. Dame Sian Phillips, the actress, is 88. Professor Sir Peter Radcliffe, the nephrologist and co-recipient of the Nobel Prize for Physiology, is 67. Campbell Robb, Chief Executive, Social Justice Charity, NACRO, Joseph Rowntree Foundation until 2019, is 52. Tim Stevenson, Lord Lieutenant of Oxfordshire, Chairman of Johnson Matthey until 2018, is 73. Robert Zemeckis, the filmmaker known for things including Forrest Gump, is 69. Nice. And Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder of Facebook, no happy birthday to him, he is 37. I am about 6 months. No, I am, roughly 5 months older than Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck my life. Fuck Zuck, yeah. In the world news, Ansel Pfeffer visits the town of Lod, where Jews and Arabs are shooting one another. The headline is, neighbours turn into bitterest of enemies as anger boils over. Israel's caught up as reservists, doesn't bode well. Zuckerberg is 2% of all millennial wealth in the USA alone, says Zaltar. Jesus fucking Christ. Here's a really nice picture of a lion having a lay down in a watering hole in the Greater Kruger National Park. Chris McRae, I'm 11 months and 2 weeks older than Fraser Nelson. Fuck my life too. Zuck owns 2% of all millennial wealth. Jews and Arabs are shooting one another. Fucking hell. I know. The framing is an important moment in film history with the first depiction of duck tits on film. George Lucas, director of the first MCU movie, Howard the Duck. Mark Zuckerberg owns half of millennials' wealth. Jesus fucking Christ. City of Dreams gives Skid Row glimmer of hope, is how Los Angeles correspondent Ben Hoyle reports. Whatever. The Captain America, Harley Davidson, Peter Fonda and Jack Nicholson rode in the 1969 film. 1969, nice. Easy Rider is expected to fetch more than £1 million when it's auctioned next month. It's fine if you like that sort of thing. Millennials have 4% of the wealth. He has 2% of that, i.e. half. Right. Mr. Gump, George Lucas, visionary director behind the 90s smash hit Galaxy Quest. Musk attacks Bitcoin for its insane use of energy. Oh, fuck off. He's just trolling everyone now. Satnam Sangera writes in his column, give Gen Z a break. They're not the only ones investing like superfans. It's actually quite a decent column. Alibaba crosses a red line after $3 billion fined by Beijing officials. They're trying to persuade you to listen to Giles Corrin. Don't do it. I have done, and I've always regretted it. The Times gets round to doing an obituary for John Kay, and guess what? It takes them 10 paragraphs to get round to the fact that he killed his wife in any detail, although they do mention it in the subdeck. I'll be covering this tomorrow in the 4th part of my John Kay series, which is also going to include some really interesting archival research done by a historian of Japan who sent me some details on the woman who he murdered background. Sorry, the woman who he killed. He was found guilty of manslaughter with diminished responsibility. The woman he killed, Haru, who was his first wife, and the fact also I noticed today that he married his second wife only 2 years later. Ven Kater, is she named? They do name her, I believe. Hold on, I'm just checking. I think they do. Yeah, they name her and they include her maiden name, Nanaka, which has not been featured in most of the coverage. But the maiden name actually was. I only put it in my newsletter earlier this week, and some people at the Times do read my newsletter, so you know. Oh, thank you, Jane Pickering. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like the hair. Elsewhere in the obit, Ven Kataram, Kalyanam, The personal secretary to Mahatma Gandhi became custodian of his letters and notebooks, has died. He was 98. And Pauline Tinsley, the popular British soprano who amassed a repertoire of more than 100 roles despite being overlooked by the Royal Opera, has died. She was 93. Someone's had a daughter that they've named Sorrel. Are there Times workers in the chat right now? Who knows? Things they're trying to sell you: a precision monocular, great for spying on your neighbours. An electric weed burner. And in the sport, fans target Liverpool bus, anti-Glazer protest disrupt, build up, but Klopp's side grab win. Right, that was the Times. Minus 79, minus 69, 69, 69, 69. The rare quintuple negative nice from me. Okay, and now we bring ourselves crashing into the final paper of the day, the Daily Mail. Jane Pickering in with the classic 0. Yuan in with an equally classic 4 fishes. Red Tick Seed in with a minus 4 trillion. Chronotherm, electric weed burner. I just roll up like normal people, pardon me. Slinkermeyer, minus all the 69s. And use of weapons says, just fucking boring. Right, onto the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, full front page. As Duke tells podcast, he must break cycle of genetic pain and suffering. Yeah, fair enough. Passed on from Charles and Queen. Just how low can Harry go? I don't know. I've never seen him limbo. And at the very bottom of the page, COVID, new Indian variant fears. And on the top right, cinemas are back. Inside, they write, from stripping in Vegas and drugs to his privilege and wild days, how Prince broadcast his pain yet again. Here's the quote he said. When it comes to parenting, if I've experienced pain or suffering because of the pain or suffering my father or my parents had suffered, I'm going to break that cycle. It's a lot of genetic pain. My father's life is connected to his parents, so that means he's treating me the way he was treated. So how can I change that for my own kids? Reasonable. Reasonable. So unhinged. Yeah, seriously unhinged stuff in here. Sarah Vine writes, now even the Queen can't escape the wrecking ball of his self-pity. From the moment he flew back to America on the Queen's 95th birthday, unable even to delay his departure a few hours for the sake of his grandmother, it was clear that hopes of reconciliation between Prince Harry and his family were futile and the Sussexes were up to something. Now we know, not content with embellishing the facts to suit his agenda in the Oprah Winfrey interview and accusing the royal family of racism, Harry, under the watchful and approving eye of Meghan, has launched another searing attack on the folks back home. Fuck you. And do you know what I fucking hate about this? Sarah Vine will get very annoyed if you say, oh, isn't your husband Michael Gove? Couldn't you talk to him? Say, well, I'm not my husband. We have different opinions. Could it be that Prince Harry has his own mind? Because I fucking think he does. And that's what they don't like about this. They don't like that he doesn't do what they expect him to do. It's also like they go back and say, well, he used to be racist. He did racist things. And he is seemingly trying to do better. Use a weapon. Woko Haram, holding the Queen hostage. Imagine the misery in a house with Vine and Gove. I know, can you imagine? Last post-it for inventor. The inventor of the glue used on post-it notes has died. Spencer Silver passed away at his Minnesota home, age 80. He discovered the adhesive which allows notes to be easily attached and reattached to various surfaces without leaving residue in 1968. He called it a solution waiting for a problem until 1974 when Art Fry, scientific colleague at the US conglomerate 3M, used it to stop paper bookmarks falling out of his hymn book when he sang in church. The press and peel memo pad finally took off when it was renamed the Post-it in 1980. They give a whole page to how brilliant their charity campaigns are again. They connect to a one study claiming that formula milk is fueling obesity as a way of making women feel guilty. On pages 14 and 15, David Cameron looking like an overboiled ham. Henry Deed says Dodger Dave was as slippery as a bar of soap in a hot bath. Nothing bad's going to happen to David Cameron. It's all fucking theatre. On page 16, Tom Utley talks about like what words posh people say. It's just crap. On page 17, Robert Hardman says, "Why did Chippy give the Tories the chop? Because Chipping Norton has voted in Labour instead of the Tories." Little John is fucking awful, just fucking awful. It's about the D-Day reenactment being cancelled because of the sand, and him going, "Oh, isn't it funny because, they didn't have risk assessments on D-Day," because context is meaningless. Like, D-Day needed to happen because it was a reenactment doesn't. One of these things is not like the other. Fuck off. Just fucking look at him. Look at him. Moving on. They make a massive, just idiotic and context-free deal of the Howard Beckett thing. Yeah, he tweeted something he shouldn't have tweeted. He apologised for tweeting it, but of course the fucking Daily Mail is all over that. It needed to fill some space, so we've got one of those features where it goes, "Can you recognise who these celebrities are from the pictures of them when they were younger?" I mean, could that be any more obviously a picture of Jerry Halliwell, for instance? Fucking hell. Is Little John older or younger than Fraser Nelson? Quite a bit older. Hey, Google, how old is Richard Littlejohn?
Richard Littlejohn is 67 years old.
Richard Littlejohn is 67 years old. There you go. On page 25, 10,000 Israeli soldiers ready for Gaza invasion. Oh, Jesus. On page 24, here they are bullying Lawrence. They've pictured them in a national newspaper over something they tweeted. It's disgusting. Right, moving on. And the headline they put on that, "Next train will be arriving at platform woke." It's not even a good pun. On pages 26 and 27, the letters of some prick who had a lover and whose lover was the novelist Elizabeth Bowen, and he also had a wife, and he basically just played it both ways, and he was a piece of shit. That's basically it. What was his name? Humphrey House. There we go. Sorry, use of weapons. I was not shouting at you or about you. There's an ad for the Royal British Legion cookbook, which was mentioned in The Lady. A 2,000-ton drill has started work carving out tunnels for HS2. There's what that looks like. Hey, Riot Gwen. Use of weapons is now canonically Lawrence Fox. No. Jan Noir is awful. Like, I can't eat. Just fuck off. I'm not even going to bother engaging with how awful she is. May 14th, 2021. On this day, from the Daily Mail archive on May 14th, 1947. Shorter hair is likely to be the fashion again. M. Le Brûlé, vice president of the Paris Hairdressers Artistic Club, summing up the first World Hairdressing Contest, explained that 1, busy women can do their hair in less time, and 2, shampooing will be easier. 3, they can use fewer hairpins. On this day, May 14th in 1974, more than 1,000 people volunteered to adopt 4 unwanted children who appeared on TV in Grenada's World in Action. Phone lines were jammed by calls from prospective parents after the controversial Adopt a Child program. Oh, Jesus. Oh, love the clip. Thank you. Thank you, Kids Station. I'm just gonna click that link so I can keep it and tweet it in a bit. Oh, yes, I did get somewhat ragey there, but, it was justified. The Daily Mail in its happy birthdays goes with George Lucas, who is 77 today, and Martine McCutcheon, who is 45. Born on this day, in 1936, Bobby Darin, the American singer-songwriter known for stuff like Macklin Knife, and William Tutty, the Suffolk-born mathematician, born in 1917, He was a cryptographer who worked at Bletchley Park during World War II, where he cracked the German Lorenz cipher, which was used to send top-secret communications within the Wehrmacht High Command. Tut received no honours, and after the war returned to his studies at Cambridge. On May 14th in 1643, Louis XIV became King of France, aged 4, precocious. And in 1894, the Blackpool Tower, lit by 10,000 light bulbs, was opened. The quote of the day comes from Lee Lacotta, the American car firm executive, who said, "My father always used to say that when you die, if you've got 5 real friends, you've had a great life." Seems like a small number of friends. Joke of the day. What time do ducks wake up?
At the crack of dawn.
Correct. Happy birthday to George Lucas. Happy Life Day to George Lucas. Sparkling new Cinderella, Blockbuster Hamlet, and Cruella at her wicked best on the big screen. As lockdown lifts on Monday, it's curtain up for culture. Oh, fucking hell. Blah, blah, blah. Angelina Jolie's is in a new film where she plays a firefighter who parachutes out of planes to deal with rampaging forest fires. Paul Weller's new album gets 4 stars from them, 4 stars for St. Vincent, and 4 stars for the Black Keys. In the book reviews, they review a biography of Alfred Hitchcock, The 12 Lives of Alfred Hitchcock, and a book about the SAS, which is, I shit you not, called Geezers. Ruth and Eamon Holmes are still advertising the vibrating floor pad thing. Red Tick-Seed, shame we didn't get to see George Lucas's Apocalypse Now, which would have been from the POV of the Vietnamese National Liberation Front. Yu-Gi-Oh! Culture closed on that Imagine video and opens back up to that, I guess. It seems like it. Ronnie Cray, Judy Garland, and Order the Star couldn't review. Secrets of the Krays got 4 stars on last night's TV. Kew Gardens A Year in Bloom gets 3 stars. Recommended show for tonight is The World's Most Scenic Railway Journeys, 9 p.m. Channel 5, if you like that sort of thing. In the cartoons, Garfield is just sort of hanging out. In Chloe and Co., Chloe and her boyfriend are drinking and talking about their relationship. And in Fred Bassett, Fred and his lads are stuck between the Grosvenor Avenue gang and the Marley Road mob. I hope Fred is going to be alright. Poor Fred. Use of weapons. Me and the geezers in the SAS tactically acquiring pints from the pub. Raya Quinn. Guess they won't be reviewing James O'Brien's new book. Geezers, The Baz Chronicle, says Chronotherm. Yu-Gi-Oh! I want the world's most cynical railway journeys. Yeah, I'm into that. Fred. We love Fred. We're a pro Fred Bassett stream here. Big love for Fred from Slinkermeyer. Red Tick Seed continuing our campaign to get Fred Bassett transferred to the Beano. Hashtag Bassett in the Beano. Right, in the letters, let's have a look. Not that many straight to the point letters because they've gone for long letters today. But in the straight to the point letters, Mary Vivian writes, Mary Vivian, pick one first name. One first name, not 2. You can't have a first name as a surname. I object. I don't give a fuck. Mary Vivian says, the best thing about the Queen's speech was her wonderful hat. Oh, Jesus Christ. A Storage says, there are no bad breeds of dogs, just out of control owners. Colin Cross says, is French wine now made with sour grapes? And Mrs. Barbara John says, stand-in Good Morning Britain TV host Alistair Campbell has the charisma of a prune. Apologies to prunes. Yeah, okay. Whatever. And then today's recipe is Quick Cheat Strawberry Mousse, which, I guess looks fine. They're advertising cruises, they're advertising retirement homes, they're advertising holiday resorts, they're advertising life insurance, they're advertising pans, they're advertising flowers, they're advertising cruises, they test an electric car, They're advertising mortgage transfers. They're advertising Cranberry's ability to stop you pissing yourself. And on the back page in the sport, Flair and Flares. Flair, F-L-A-I-R, and Flares. Firmino fires Klopp into top 4 race on incendiary night. So there you go. I'm going to go with a minus double quadruple negative nice. The octo negative nice. Minus 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69. There we go. All British jokes about France come across so bitter. They do. I like France. Jane Pickering, I mainline cranberries. I do like cranberries. Not just for, piss prevention reasons. Mr. Gump gives it a minus 420, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69. Yuan in with a fishy 4. Jane Pickering with the classic 0. And Ged Station with a minus 100. Slinker Meyer going for the infinite minus 69s. And Tara writes here is not a number low enough for my feelings. Red Tickseed in with minus 1896. Right, so thank you for joining me today and indeed this week on the show. As ever, I recommend you check out Sinan streams and what he is streaming tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, do give the latest episode of Podcasting is Praxis a listen. If you have enjoyed the show and you want to help me out, do chuck some coins into the newspaper fund, paypal.me/conquest of the useless. That's paypal.me/conquest of the useless. And remember, if you've got Amazon Prime and you want to, there's another way you can help me out for no money at all, which is use your Amazon Prime, free Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe to this channel. And yeah, if you wanna get involved with the newspaper reviews next week and help me pick what magazine specials we do, chuck some money in the PayPal and tell me which magazine you want to see. Obviously, Monday we've got London Review of Books and 2000 AD up for review, but there are other slots on Wednesday and Friday for magazines to cover. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Catch me on the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, here is the link. It's really easy to download and then join Discords. So here we go. Invites. Boom. Here's the link for the Discord. It's where we can talk to each other when the stream is not going. And otherwise, find me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Thank you all. You've been hilarious as ever in the chat. See you Monday at 1 p.m.